Breaking news. Tarantulas has begun his rampage on the city.
I'm invincible. No one can stop me now.
Many have tried to quell the beast. Some have even stayed behind and defended their homes. Others have unfortunately perished. People have already begun evacuating from the scene. Others became trapped in the crossfire.
Oh no, he knocked over sideways.
That bastard. Who'll be brave enough to stop this monstrosity?
Yes, who will stand up to this injustice?
Hey look, it's Airachnid. We're all saved.
Gah! The witch! Why do you keep hunting me down? Looks like you haven't learned your lesson yet, Spider Boy. You won't defeat me this time, witch! I always get my prey. Kya! Go! You won't defeat me this time. They just never learn, do they? I'll be back, witch. I swear.
Wow, Airachnid, you saved the day.
Of course. Anything for you.
Wait, was this part of the script?
It is now.
Oh, yikes, I'm out here.
Target acquired.
Hello everyone, it's Decepti-KHAN, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm the fabulous leader of the Decepti-KHAN army, and today we are going to be reviewing Airachnid. Alright, it's finally time to review this chick, finally. So just like Twiml and Bone Shaker, I did actually pick her up at Target before I moved out of my apartment. We got some new members. Yeah, if you saw the last review, we reviewed Tarantulas, so now we're going to go ahead and review Miss Airachnid from Transformers 1. So without further ado, let's go ahead and see what she's all about, right? So let's get started with her articulation and work from there. Alright, so here's Airachnid, and we're going to go ahead and start with her articulation here. So you can rotate Airachnid's head left and right, and yes, you can rotate her head all the way around, just like this. She can definitely look up and down. Her arms can rotate all the way around. Her arms can twist. She does have elbow bend. Unfortunately, she doesn't have hand rotation, nor can you bend them. She has no waist rotation, but she is capable of bending over a little bit. You can rotate her legs. You can bend her knees. Her feet can move like this. It's a little bit kind of weird, but it's basically because this is how you connect her feet to her legs due to her transformation. She can't really do a T-pose, so this is as far as her arms can go. She is capable of doing the splits, so it's really kind of interesting that she can actually do the splits with these type of legs. And lastly, let's not forget about the elephant in the room, her spider-like appendages that she has on the back, which each of these pieces, they do kind of bend and move very interestingly. And yep, that's kind of about it for her articulation. She's a very interesting figure, very odd, very unique. That's what I really like about her though. So now that we kind of played around with her, let's go ahead and see if she can become a supermodel, right? Alright guys, just like as I said in the last video, I'm going to announce who I think had the best picture. And if you probably saw at the end of the photo shoot, Double Punch, I feel like had the best photo with the Tarantula's photo shoot. Again, here's what the picture looks like. So congratulations Double Punch for winning the best photo from the Tarantula's photo shoot. It was kind of a tough one between Widow and Hatchet. And so I decided that I would use Widow's photo as the thumbnail for Tarantula's video, at least at the time of this recording. And if it's not the thumbnail, yeah, shame on me if it's not the thumbnail. But but right now, it is currently the thumbnail for Tarantula's video. And for Hatchet's, I also updated his video with that photo as well. So his photo will now be the new thumbnail for his video. I will put a link down below and also up here if you guys would like to check out his video. But yes, congratulations to Double Punch for winning Best Performance from the Tarantula's photo shoot. Yeah, why don't we go ahead and interview Double Punch and hear his thoughts about the photo shoot.
So, Double Punch, how was your photo shoot?
It was kind of scary. Like,
I have never worked with tarantulas before, and he was like really heavy. Like, I really couldn't move.
Sounds scary indeed.
Also, I really needed to use the bathroom really badly that day, but I'm so glad that Blackout was there. He was very supportive. Like, he was giving me lots of directions. It was very helpful.
Sounds like you and Blackout have a thing for each other.
Oh, not really. I mean, he is really nice. Like, everyone says he's mean, but he's really, really nice to me. You know what I mean? Maybe a little too nice.
Oh, Double Punch, why would you say that on camera?
Oh, I'm afraid that's all the time that we have. Thank you, Double Punch, for your time. I wouldn't mind hunting you down next time.
What?
Run along now, run along. I have my eyes on you now.
So Airachnid comes with 2 little mini guns that she has. I'm pretty sure that they're identical, so it doesn't really matter which one that you slot in her hands. Now, from my experience, I've had a little bit of a difficult time equipping the guns on her. I don't know if anyone else has had this experience, but she's really given me like shades of Barricade the last night where I had some issues slotting his guns in his hands, so it is a little bit kind of difficult. I don't know. I found it to be very difficult to equip her guns sometimes. But interestingly, even though that they're supposed to be kind of unique to her, I was able to give her guns to other characters. And funny enough, I could actually equip it onto tarantulas of all characters. Like even in his spider form, he could actually equip the guns like this. It's kind of hilarious. I didn't think I could actually do that, but yeah, kind of weird that I can slot her gun on tarantulas and I can't seem to get it on her very well. Now, I did kind of want to see if she can equip other things, so I was able to give her Black Dragon swords, so this is what she looks like with swords. I was able to give her Novocaine and Freezer, and unfortunately because of how cumbersome they are, she kind of falls over a little bit. But I was able to give her Novocaine and Freezer in one of her arms. And lastly, I was able to give her Barricade's gun, and again, it's kind of really interesting that like her and Barricade kind of have some very similar issues. I don't know, like, especially when I slotted the gun, it just fits a little too nicely in there. It almost got to a point where I almost couldn't get it out. But yeah, it's kind of interesting that she can equip a good variety of different weapons, but I don't know why I just can't get her own weapons to fit. I don't know, maybe that's just my experience, but I'd like to kind of know what you guys think, if you guys had any other issues with her when it comes to equipping the weapons. And also, additionally, she has no backdrop, so pretty much that's all the accessories that she comes with. It's time for that transformation. And I'm going to be really honest, I was really dreading the transformation for this one because I kind of saw the instructions and seeing how many like steps it takes, like it's 36 steps. It was going to be a long one to figure out how to do this one correctly. I was able to kind of get through it maybe about halfway, and then I got kind of stuck at around the legs. I honestly have no idea if I did the propeller section correctly, so I had to look up a video really quick. I think I was watching MGo's video on this, and I wanted to kind of see like where I was getting kind of hung up. And I have to tell you, it's always the legs, right? It's always the legs I get hung up on. So the question is, do you think that I succeeded, or do you think I flopped on this one? All right, here's my transformation attempt on Airachnid. Yeah, safe to say, it definitely does not look like the picture. Yeah, it definitely does not look like the picture. I'm gonna be really honest, you guys. I was so lost doing this one. I was following along MGo's video, and just when I thought I was like, okay, like, I'm hoping this is the last step, and he still continues going on, I'm like, there's more? I'm like, I was so baffled. And again, guys, I was like absolutely lost on this one. I mean, it doesn't look so bad, actually. This is the furthest I've gotten with the transformation, but yeah, it does not look like the picture. Something about it kind of reminds me of like a lobster or a crayfish when I was like transforming this thing. It's really bizarre and gnarly, but I kind of like it. It doesn't look that bad, you guys. And again, this is the furthest attempt I could make it. I was really, really lost, and I did the best that I could to follow along with MGo's video, but girl, this was not really fun transforming. I know some people will love transforming this thing because it's definitely a challenge, but for a beginner, it is not very beginner friendly. It is very, very, very difficult. And there's so many steps to remember, you guys. So I really don't recommend transforming this as your first figure because you're probably going to be really throwing this at the wall. But I mean, like I said, this still doesn't look too bad either. And I mean, it's sort of convincing, all right? It kind of looks kind of convincing of a transformation, but yeah, this was definitely not a success. So was I able to transform Airachnid? And the answer is sort of. I mean, it kind of looks like a vehicle, but it definitely does not look like the picture. So I would definitely have to give it a 9 out of 10. Like probably 8.5, 9 out of 10 on difficulty. I definitely do not recommend this as your first toy if you are starting out with Transformer figures. But, you know, if you want to start somewhere really hard, I think she would definitely be a good one to start if you really want a major challenge. And again, I just love that you can fiddle with this. But too bad that these you can't fiddle. So, yeah, here's my transformation attempt on Airachnid. Yeah, there's not a lot of like big things I want to kind of critique on with Airachnid. Because I will say that there's something about her that I like and some things that I don't like, right? I want to kind of address one thing that I think really stands out with her, and it's her posture, basically. It's just how she stands. Because I was actually really surprised that she was able to like stand really well with like the tiny little feet that she has. She has really, really good standing ability, and especially it's kind of amplified with these spider-like appendages that she has in the back, so they kind of act as like nice support. I know that right now she wasn't standing earlier, but she definitely stands really nicely, and especially when you combine with this, she definitely has some really great posture. And because of the spider-like appendages, you can also get some really interesting poses out of her. But I do want to kind of address another thing, and obviously if you have seen this review, I was not able to transform her properly. I basically had a hard time working with her transformation, which kind of leads me to something I want to kind of mention about how I would describe Airachnid. I don't know if anyone plays Guild Wars 2, but she kind of reminds me of like the classes in Guild Wars 2, because you know how like when you go to the class selection, you have like the different classes and they tell you how difficult each class is to play. If you kind of think of Airachnid as like one of those classes, like she's definitely like a level 2 or 3 class. Like it really takes like a certain level of understanding to be able to play around with her, because she is a bit of a unique toy. Like she is very unique. She is very interesting to play around with, but her transformation definitely takes a lot of work to figure out how to get right, especially if you have to try to do it without the instructions. So it really takes like a really deep understanding how to play around with this toy as well as with her transformation. So she's definitely pretty advanced. That's how I would kind of describe it. I will get better at figuring out how to play around with her, but I do want to kind of just point out that she does kind of have like a certain level of like understanding that you have to get down in order to like play with this figure properly. Oh yeah, so she kind of shares some similarities with my experience with Barricade the last night. If you have seen my review with Barricade last night, the main thing is just equipping the guns. Like, I don't know if it's just me, but I had a hard time equipping her guns, even though they're like really small, but it's really kind of funny that I could get her guns to equip on other characters. But the one time I really want to equip it on this chick, it never really sockets in really well. Like I can't get it in. But on the subject about her weapons though, the one thing I do like about her though is that she does actually have some hidden artillery in the arm section here. And this is just because this is for the transformation. But you can actually leave this out if you would like. So you can definitely leave out this gun and leave it as her weapon if you would like. I personally kind of like that as a nice little touch. So you can actually have her having like a normal hand and then having like the gun like hand if needed. Because again, this is like part of the transformation, but it is built in with her. So you can definitely do that if you like. That's kind of why I kind of prefer this weapon as opposed to her other weapons. It's funny because I was actually able to equip her weapons onto tarantulas. I don't know how I can get her weapons to fit on tarantulas and then I can't get it to fit on her, but you know, kind of very similar to Barricade. I had a hard time slotting his guns, and girl, I had a hard time slotting your guns in your hands, basically. I don't know if it's just because there's just a lack of articulation with the hands, like the fact that you just can't bend them or rotate them. Maybe that's why I was having a hard time, but I don't know. But I definitely had a hard time equipping her guns, basically. So, do I recommend Airachnid? I definitely would recommend her.
But
I know, there's the big but. She is a bit of an advanced toy to play around with. Again, it's kind of what I had said earlier, that it really takes like a deep understanding how to play around with her, especially with these spider-like appendages and her articulation and her transformation. She's definitely a very advanced toy to figure out how to play around with her. Takes a bit of some time to master, but once you master it, she's very satisfying to play around with. So I do think that she is a great toy. She's movie accurate. I love her appearance. She's very unique, but she definitely takes a lot of time to understand how to play around with. So I do recommend her, but just take caution with all the things you've seen in this video, especially with the transformation. If you're not really skilled with the transformation, she's definitely a very hard one to figure out how to do the transformation if you're just starting out. So, but yes, that concludes my review with Airachnid. So, girl, it's time to say goodnight to everybody. So go ahead and wave goodbye. If you guys like this review, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe to my channel if you're new to this channel. And I shall see you guys in the next review, alright? So, have a good night, you guys.